Je lance le live. Par contre, si vous pouvez m'envoyer le lien du live, ce serait cool.
Moi il est pas. Il est rien.
Si c'est mec, je suis en direct.
D'accord.
Ouais, Zerex. Vous avez. Est-ce que quelqu'un peut me l'envoyer sur Discord s'il vous plaît?
Si.
Ouais.
Il n'y a pas de notif là. Il n'y a pas de notif là.
C'est pas grave, je vais voir quand on live après. Oui, oui, Zerex.
Ah si c'est bon. J'ai reçu.
Vas-y, envoie.
On va entrer.
Ah, mais ok, Curie me l'a envoyé déjà. C'est nice. Attendez. Je vais mettre le son, les gars, 2 secondes. Hein. Je vais mettre le son. Là, c'est bon.
First ever world champion solo. My name is Sundown, joined here by TW, and it is going to be an incredible day.
That it is. Over 30 countries are represented here today in the World Cup Finals. And I mean, this entire weekend has been amazing. It has had some of the most amazing Fortnite action. And this is the best of competitive Fortnite. So we're gonna go ahead. We already did crown the World Champions duo in Nyrox and Aqua.
And it was very well deserved from there. Don't forget about the Creative Championship
Salut,
and the
Anonymous.
Pro-Am that kicked it all off on Friday. We saw the Fish Fam take it away, and then of course, the cooler duo of Aqua and Nyrox, crediting the boot camp, all of their practice put in. The first half of the games were rough. The back three, victory royale, top 5 with 2 clutch eliminations coming out of Aqua to push them in to that top spot. And we'll be seeing Aqua here again today, Baller.
That we will. We'll see if he's going to be able to repeat some of the magic that he did yesterday, but he's not the only person. We have 100 more players, and they all competed over 5 weeks of solo qualifiers. We have already awarded $6 million over the course of those qualifiers, and 40 million players competed to try to qualify for this day right now. Only 100 players remain.
And they're all fighting for their share of the $15 million prize pool. We've already given away $15 million between the creative and the duos competition yesterday, as well as the charity portion for the Pro-Am, and they all want to be in that top spot.
Mais non, je veux dire la World Cup, ça commence.
$3 million in prize money, but for most of them, it's about the title. They want to be in the top spot. They want the clout. They want the recognition. They want to say, I am the ultimate Victor Royale.
So we're going to go ahead and join the players on the floor in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. They're ready. We're going to go ahead with our first group of contestants. It is Booga, Bizzle, Commandment, Vivid, Cease, Snow, Riverson, Leleo, and Dubs.
C'est les qualifiés au Brésil, ça.
The players who qualified out of NA East, NA West, and Brazil during the first week. The ones who rose to the occasion right away, cemented themselves in there and didn't have to worry about it. And right away, how can you not call out the NA East Titans of Bizzle, Vivid, and Cease? Been around forever. And Cease, more importantly, we said he deserved more recognition. He was one of the best. And what did he do yesterday? Third place with Elevate. He's looking ready to go, but
Cloud9 Snow, FaZe, Dubs.
had an incredible performance yesterday, and they're looking to represent on the stage.
So we'll see if he's going to be able to do that. Of course, at the top of the list is Booga. A lot of people are looking forward.
Ils ont tous des aides de Bambi. Pourtant, ils font partie des meilleurs joueurs au monde.
He can continue the performance he's had in the last couple of weeks. So we're going to continue though. Dubs had an we're going to check in with Jordan Fisher on the floor with Dubs.
Thank you so much, Fortnite family and fans. What's going on? I'm Jordan Fisher. I've got Dubs right here. Dubs, you placed consistently well during the qualifiers, wrangling a first.
Je sais pas si je peux augmenter le son. Attendez, je vais voir si je peux pas augmenter le son. On sent comme ça. Attends. Faut mes effets sonores. Je vais peut-être augmenter comme ça.
Ouais, non, dire ça, c'est pas bien. C'est méchant. C'est méchant, ça.
Attends, mais ça bug.
Comment les gars? Les gars, avec je joue meilleur que vous, les gars.
Ça bug!
Je m'appelle Love.
Ça bug, ça va me saouler. Oh, je vais péter un câble. Pourquoi je t'ai touché? Bon, ok. On va appuyer en bas à droite. Ah merde, putain. Ah, faut que je relance, ça me casse les couilles, c'est mal foutu leur truc. Mais il y en a, ils l'ont en putain de bonne qualité, c'est quoi ce bordel? Attends. On va faire autrement.
Je vais prendre mes pics et on verra.
Oh, attends, ça c'est là. Ah voilà, c'est bon, nice. Comme ça, moi je vais l'avoir en grand. On va pas me casser les couilles.
Turn heads qualifying multiple times in the solos format, being so close for duos, and he has, if not the possible highest mechanical ceiling in skills out of any of these solo players.
Nate, Benji
He's
Fishy,
been turning
Stompy.
heads in the NA scene because he's been here boot camping for a couple of weeks and he's
Salut,
made
Adam.
a number of clips in
DRG,
terms of his aim. He's one of the best
DRG.
mechanical players for
Ah, c'est un
aiming
Allemand.
out of OCE. And at the end here, Benji Fishy, what more can you say about him? We're going to go ahead and take a look what his life is like back at home.
De base, non. Tu connais pas de base, Carlet, qui est pas?
Benji Fishy, Player Spotlight. Oh, c'est trop bien fait, il montre.
My name is Benji Fish.
Bah, attends, je vais enlever ma tête parce qu'elle sert à rien au final.
I live in the UK. To master Fortnite, you gotta play a lot.
Benji Fishy trying to punish some of these players.
I'm definitely on par with pretty much every pro.
I love Benji Fish.
I'm very excited to go to World Cup. It's definitely gonna be one of the best things of my life.
Ils ont massacré le jeu.
C'est hyper bien fait ce qu'ils ont fait.
Playing for his family, his mom, and trying to do everything he can to make an even bigger name for himself. But speaking of bigger names for themselves, this next group has so many top titles, starting off there with Tfue, and then following up
Voilà,
Unknown
Tfue.
Army, Niddle, Funk, Psalm, Clicks, Epic Whale, Karhu, Lasers, and Kurtz. I mean, Bala. What can we say about these players?
A lot of huge names, of course. We'll start with Tfue. The qualifying run he had in week number 3 was one of the most memorable moments out of the entire Fortnite World Cup Online Opens. And what a story it was in front of 250,000 people on a stream, no delay, just slayed out and qualified.
Was able to play very well in the LAN environment, has taken that title at TwitchCon. Well, let's not forget about somebody else who was there. You got Funk Bomb played yesterday on the stage and is looking to continue to roll it forward. Psalm as well, another player who is a big competitive veteran coming from a MOBA background, transitioning into Fortnite and showing his ability to break it down and push the meta farther. And then you have the two young warriors out of Clicks and Epic Whale, known for taking walls, taking names, and pressing forward, doing everything they can to stop their opponents.
Absolutely. Clicks, one of the players who has fully qualified for both solos and duos. And at the end, Kurtz out of Brazil. We're going to continue forward with him and go ahead and listen to some of the stuff he had preparing for ahead of the competition.
When I play Fortnite, I change my personality. I play very aggressive. If you make a mistake, you will be the victim. Easy, bro. My name is Enrique Kurtz. I'm 14 years old. My name in game is Kurtz.
Il y a 14 ans le mec.
Well, easy, bro. I like that line most of all out of that entire package. That was amazing. We'll see if it is going to be easy, bro, today. We're going to continue forward, see who's on the floor. It is going to be Luki, Left Eye, Fleeter Moyes, T-Chub, Core Gaming, Wakey, Dementos, Banny, Takamura, Cat, and LOL Boom.
And another group loaded with talent. LOL Boom in particular, the young Irish lad, qualified in the same week as his duo Core Gaming. They didn't represent in the duos competition. We got to interview both of them, and they're excited to be here, excited to represent not only for their countries, but also for their families. And then also looking up there, Left Eye and Dementos have been around the scene for a very long time, since the beginning, have that veteran experience, have been in so many of these very, very top-heavy lobbies. They are going to be comfortable.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at Banny, who was Fax Fox's duos from the previous Asian group, and he is one of the most aggressive players. He also plays tons of high ground, tries to look for tons of eliminations on the high ground. So we'll see how the Asian region and how he performs there with his strategy converts to this stage.
But can't forget about Takamura out of Japan, and then Cat coming from
Le dernier, là, LOL Boom, il est petit, ouais.
But we talked about LOL Boom, we talked about wanting to represent his family and what it means to him. Let's hear a little bit about that from him.
Hi, my name is Lalbium. I'm originally from Philippines, but I live in Ireland, and I qualified for the solo Fortnite World Cup.
Il vient des Philippines, mais il vit en Irlande.
Every week was really intense. I didn't expect myself to qualify for the solos. It was just unbelievable.
Il espère être qualifié pour le... Ah non, il a dit que être qualifié pour la...
Competitive Fortnite is
la finale de la World.
Everyone's so nice. Loads of people are really humble. I don't really feel any pressure on me. I just really focus on this moment and this tournament, and hopefully I do good and bring back home one of the best Fortnite players in the world. I'd like to thank my parents, my brothers especially, and also the viewers that stuck up to me and who are loyal to me, because they're like the only ones that supported me throughout this whole journey, and I'd just like to thank all of them.
It's so nice to see someone just so grateful to be in the position, but continue striving forward. Someone who's originally seen in the skirmishes, but now wants to perform on the main stage. On to our next group, representing out of NA East, NA West, and Brazil. We have Dracons, Road Shark, Colorful, Mega, Bucky, Class, Rux, Pizzas, and Zate.
I just want to talk about Bucky because I know we've talked about it a lot. I know we've talked about on broadcast that video of him qualifying, with his dad in the background coaching him, and he's here today by himself. He has performed on the stage before back at the summer block party. He did quite well there and had a good time on the stage, so we'll see. That was a little bit of a less competition. It was for charity. This today is for $15 million total.
And he's going to want to be pushing the pace, particularly against players like this. Class, extremely analytical, keeps a notebook with him at all times and wants to break down his opponent's interaction. We got to see a little bit from Rux and his baseball-playing grandfather during the pre-show. He has that competitive bones in his body. He was there every single week. And Mega, great performance again yesterday. Colorful, the one we got to interview on Mother's Day, and he was told, hey, I had to make a deal to even get playing time on the weekends, and now he's going to be on the main stage.
I also, going back to Mega real quick, because he had one of the most memorable moments from yesterday's games when he was playing with Dubs. We actually eliminated Mitro and Mongrel, one of the biggest duos in Fortnite in EU, and that was crazy to be able to do it with that mechanical skill, that speed that he did it at.
And he barely even reacted. Now, one player, normally, Bala, you and I are very good about going through, breaking these down, knowing their stories. I know very little about Pizzas. It's so hard to find information on. We got to go through the VOD reviews, but he is somebody in one of the few true wild cards, and I'm very interested to see what happens when you run into him. And now we're going to actually get a chance to talk with Zate, who we saw him and Sap have an amazing performance yesterday. Let's see what he's feeling ahead of the competition. Jordan, what do you have for us?
You are not wrong, Sundown. One of the best and most dominant duo players standing right next to me in Zate. Zate, you dominated yesterday. It's very clear to absolutely everybody, claiming that #1 slot for 5 of the 6 games. Obviously, it's Fortnite, RNG happens, right? But again, going into in-game, you two staying together, locking down high ground, that's ultimately what secured the dub. What was your mentality going into duos yesterday?
So we kept the same mentality, same strategies for every single game. After the 3 first games, we had 38 points, so we're really confident. So we didn't change anything. A lot of unfortunate things happened, so we finished with 6 points in the last 3 games and pick up 4th. After being first for 5 games in a row, we really want to win it, so it felt kind of bad, but still,
Understandable. I mean, at the end of the day, though, Fortnite, this is the biggest payouts, right? Like, we're seeing some amazing payouts here. 4th place is still very much a win, I would think, to a lot of people. Now, going into the solos tournaments today, obviously you've been performing very consistently over the course of the last year of Fortnite comps. You're faced up against a lot of incredibly talented players from regions all over the world, and there's a lot of different play styles here. What's your mentality going into some of these fights?
For solos, I'm going to play like I've been playing for the past year. I'm just going to be confident because I play best when I'm confident.
Absolutely. Well, we see this confidence. We're going to see it again today on Real Island. What do you have next for us?
Thank you so much, Jordan. And what's surprising to me there is Zate. I mean, it's not surprising at all, actually. He's a true competitor. He placed in 4th place yesterday, and he's very disappointed about that. You can see it on his face.
Definitely felt it wasn't good enough. He said, hey, we wanted it all. We wanted the top spot. With Zate, we've seen it in the past. That means he's going forward. But now on to our next group, because these competitors are here to also challenge for the top spot. We have Link, Peter Pan, Lechi, Yarkos, Plusha, Mr. Savage, Snazy, Smeef, Blaster, and Issa.
Issa.
The beginning of this group that you mentioned, Lechi, one of the most amazing controller players I've ever seen out of Germany, and he was so methodical and so good at the end game. It was unbelievable. The tunneling skills and able to be so aware. I can't be more impressed by Lechi.
Yes, and even in the qualification round, he said, hey, I got the spot. He was almost the first controller qualifier to get in, missed it by 1 place, and that next week when he came back to back solo trap eliminations to just flex on the entirety of Europe. Also rounding out the group, something we saw yesterday was Plusha. He's going to have the time to be on the stage as well as Mr. Savage. They're there, but let's talk about the other controller player making his first trip over here. It is Ghost Issa, the original controller gang, and we had a chance to talk with him ahead of the competition. Let's hear what he had to say.
So I qualified for solos in week 5. It's been 10 stressful weeks, a lot of ups and downs, but it's been pretty good. When I qualified, I was so happy. I had a rough 10 games. I think I played 5 games out and died like 4 times off spawn. So I was so happy when I qualified. I instantly called my mom and was like, hey, I qualified. I think it's nice that the open qualifiers, literally everyone can qualify. You can be 13 and win millions of dollars, and just everyone is really chill. New York is way different. Like, even the air, everything is so much different. The traffic, but I love it. Meeting everyone has been the nicest part. My advice would be just keep grinding. That's how you get better. Watch better player play, like watch Mongrels, VODs, whatever, and just keep grinding. That's the only way you can make it.
What an incredible story coming out of Issa, looking to represent and looking to do as much damage as possible. You know he's here to take names. Now on to the next group, where you have a lot of what I would consider dark horse contenders. Very talented players you don't hear enough about. It's Nyx, King, Clarity G, Astonish, Lunez, Jenkins, Batch, Pika, Storm, and Reverse 2K.
I just want to point out, Astonish's outfit is unbelievably incredible. He has slippers on that have claws on them.
No, those aren't slippers. He's in a full onesie and then has the jersey over it. You can check him out on Twitter. Also known for one of the coolest fling knock plays we've ever seen. One of my favorite calls, but also have to talk about Nyx and King. They're both playing yesterday in the duels. Didn't necessarily get the results they wanted, but they're both known as much stronger individual players. They play much better when they're able to go crazy and do the game plan that they want to do.
Yeah, and in the bottom right there, you see Storm, also known as 4DR Storm. He's one of the players who fully qualified for both solos and duos, and even with his duo partner, Epic Whale, later on. We do also have Reverse 2K on the bottom half of this group. He is on the floor with Jordan Fisher. What do you got?
Standing next to me is Reverse 2K, one of the most gifted mechanically in terms of his aim, his building sense, his speed. Everything about his gameplay is one that I love and look up to personally, and I think for a lot of people here as well. Now, you've already told us that you're dropping Pressure, which is where you dropped in your qualifying week, which is a very smart move, I think, in my opinion. Now, are you planning on keeping a strict rotation schedule? Are you going to be able to be flexible?
We're gonna be able to flex more. I know Ninja and I duo spot is Lagoon, so that's my hometown, so we might drop there.
Very comfortable there. Mat up really quickly with some wood right there, those masks. Now another thing that I love about you, Reverse, you're so vocal and so positive in social media, and a lot of people are supporting you and loving you, very much behind you in this journey. How does it feel to have so much support from Fortnite fans and others that are watching your streams and so forth?
It feels amazing. This Fortnite game is definitely a mental game. If you lose your mind, you're going to lose the game, so a lot of sport helps.
Absolutely. Well, we love you, man. I'm excited to see you perform today. Bala, Sundown, who's next?
Thank you so much, Jordan. A lot of people from home rooting for Reverse 2K. He's made quite a fan base and a lot of people supporting him. We're going to continue forward back in the stadium. We do have our next group, Hood J, Arius. We also have our one of Duos champion from yesterday. It's Aqua. And then Martin, Irus, Robabs, Skylar, Kinstar, and Kinzel.
I mean, can't forget about Flexi and the X2 twins rounding out the group there, but all eyes are on Aqua, and deservedly so. Nyrock said yesterday, hey, we won because Aqua is a beast. Aqua in his interview said, we're just gonna win. And what did he say last night afterward? He's like, you know, might mess around and win solos as well. He is about it and he is that skilled. But another player who has that very similar attitude is Eros, somebody who is a controller player, swapped over from console to PC. And I had one fan particularly reach out. He's like, hey, I watch him all the time. He doesn't care about anyone else. Whoever is going, he is flying at them. He wants to be known as one of the most skilled players out there. And then you have to talk about Keemstar.
And at the bottom of that list there, we also have Flexi, who played yesterday in the duos competition. One of the actual fully qualified duos with his partner, Letwick, who's playing as well. He's just amazing. His qualifying run actually was one of the most mechanically skilled things I've ever seen, but also what a struggle it was. He had so many setbacks in that week that he qualified that I almost thought that he wasn't going to make it, and it was going to be one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen.
But he was able to clutch up in the end and get to his spot. You see plenty of French representation coming out there. Of course, Keemstar been around from the very beginning, able to compete on the stage as well. Robob's up there, and then we have to talk about the X2 twins. Jordan representing down south, known originally as one of the first veterans out there. We're gonna toss it to a quick little video to see kind of what they're all about and what they were thinking about going into the competition.
I'm twins, and I'm from Brisbane, Australia. I've played LAN, I've played online, I've played the Australian Open, I've played at Poland internationally. I really like LANs. It's a different setting because there's people actually watching you as opposed to just people watching online. I think I'm definitely getting better with it with the more LANs I do. It doesn't really sink in until you actually land here and you get here like, oh, I'm actually in New York. It is definitely a cool experience. I like to listen to music before I play and try and treat it as if I was at home just playing any other scrim. You've got to put work into it. Sometimes you might have to get a little bit lucky with like qualifying and stuff. Like that's a part of it, but you can create your own luck through grinding and just hard work. It's really cool meeting the people and like experiencing it with them and learning from each other. People that can keep their calm, they definitely come through.
Jordan going to be doing everything he can to push forward and be at the top. And now we're into the qualifiers who qualified in the final week. The week 9 ones, the last chance qualifiers. When everything was on the line, they made it here. It's Clipnote, Cosmic, Tuzi, Aspect, Hornet, Creo, Legedian, Harians, Evil Mare, and Arcram 1X.
Clipnote, one of the players out of Brazil who, you know, he was there every single week, just in the top 10, not quite reaching that final top 1 spot, which is how many spots are up per week for Brazil, but he finally did it in the final week. That shows he is clutch.
Yes, the Argentinian was all about it, and we have to talk about Aspect. Him and Anna were the original favorites going into the qualifiers, kind of slid off the pace a little bit, had to swap up their drop spot. In the final week, he rocketed up in the lead with 60 points, but the issue was he finished his games early. Everyone else had an extra half hour. He had to sit there watching the leaderboard for an hour, but when all was said and done, he got the final spot. He'll be playing on that stage, and he'll be looking to take everyone's walls.
That 17 elimination game to qualify was definitely memorable from aspect, but Arkram 1X also had a memorable performance yesterday in the duo finals. We're going to go ahead and catch up with him on the floor.
Dominant performance from Arkram for sure. Standing next to me here, another one of the most talented. I mean, I say this over and over again. It's because I'm surrounded by the best Fortnite players literally in the entire world. Definitely one of them here, repping the NA West. Over there, a lot of psycho players. Now, Arkram, you qualified for the World Cup in the first week of duos and in the last week of solos. Your preparation for both of these things definitely is very different. How have you prepared in comparison to yesterday, claiming that 5th spot, which was unbelievable, guys? Preparing for solos today is very different. How have you strategized for this?
Well, I try to prepare my mentality a lot better than yesterday, and I know what it's going to be like going in today, other than like tomorrow, because yesterday was like my first time playing at a LAN. So I know what I have to do, and I know what I'm going to do to try to win today.
Absolutely. Well, that composure is everything, right? I mean, that can really help you dominate in that way. Now, again, repping NA West out there in LA for me. Listen. Your qualification both in duos and solos, you're the only person from NA West that was able to do that. What do you have to say to the rest of the West?
I mean, like, if you guys get a brain on the West Coast, like, it'll be a lot easier, you know, but otherwise, yeah, that's all you gotta do.
We gotta get a brain. Okay, I'm gonna come to Arkram School. Back to you guys on Unreal Island.
Well, I might also go to Arkram School. That was definitely interesting there.
Could say galaxy brain there from Arkram, you know, just get a brain going on there looking to represent. But now the final group of competitors, it will be Sosman, Moffin, Andretta, Crew, Light, Mongrel, MQ, Teak, Blacks, and Skite.
I like the little dab there from Blacks. Absolutely incredible. Again, remember, these are the guys who qualified in the final week. And I do have to point out, Andretta was one of the players who did so. What an amazing performance it was. One of the few players who was streaming his final week, and he did it in an amazing fashion.
Winning 3 out of his first 5 games. He actually took a moment after that on the stream, kind of, you could see him deep breath in, deep breath out, and kind of know he had it. He kept pushing forward. We got to see Crew yesterday, had some highlight reel plays, but wasn't quite able to push into the top 10. Going to want to do that today. But Bala, you know on this list who I want to talk about right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Let's hear it. What do you got for Mr. Mongrel himself?
Mongrel. What more? I mean, there's literally so much. I could talk about this guy forever. One of the most mechanically skilled players I have ever seen. So fast with his decisions, you really can't keep up. Sometimes I even have to watch him in slow motion because it's just so ridiculously fast.
And you could see his reactions on the camera, how much he cares, how much he is invested, how much he wants to be the best of the best, just as does Skite, the player from the stream, overcoming tendinitis in his wrist, qualifying through. We're going to throw it down to the floor with Jordan and a translator to catch up and hear what Skite has to say. Jordan, take it away.
Standing next to Skite here, dealing with tendinitis is a very, very big thing, especially ahead of a competition of this caliber. How have you prepared physically going into today?
Avec un concours de cette nature, il y a beaucoup évidemment d'ambition et de comment est-ce que vous gérez un peu la situation?
Je m'entraîne et j'essaie de pas stresser et je reste concentré en jouant.
I train, I try not to be too stressed out, and I just, think about the game.
Understood, as you should. Now you have a lot of LAN experience and a lot of success in online tournaments as well. Your preparation for today, knowing that you're going up against a bunch of the best players in the world, regions all over the world. How are you strategizing for solos today?
Tu es un des meilleurs joueurs du monde, tu as beaucoup d'expérience, etc. Mais en même temps, ça c'est une compétition nouvelle. Comment est-ce que tu t'es organisé pour la stratégie de cette Coupe du Monde?
J'essaie juste de jouer mon jeu et de ne pas stresser. Et j'essaie de m'adapter à la méta actuelle. Et voilà.
I try not to stress out, I try to sleep well, eat well, and I try to think how I'm going to really play the game.
Lovely, and that allows you composure, right? Then you can dominate. Love it, Skite. Back to you guys at Unreal Island.
Thank you so much, Jordan and Skite. Skite, originally known for his Winter Royale performance where he was top the qualifier, top the semifinal, and then top the final. It put him on the map, and now he's here competing on the main stage, which is set for everyone who is here. But all of you guys at home, make sure you're using Fortnite.com/watch. Go check the website out. It is a more kind of tailored viewing experience. There's the ability to unlock additional items in-game. And on top of that, for somebody who's super analytical, there's a map stream. There's an individual player stream. You want to see the spotlighted players, T-Fewer dubs, they'll be on there. You want to see the best players from Asia, they'll be on there. Best players from Brazil, they'll be on there. Make sure you go and utilize this tool, whether you're trying to get better at Fortnite or just want to watch what you want to watch. We want to give you every possible potential way to increase your viewing experience, and let us know if there's anything else you want added in there. We're always looking to improve because we're lining in stats. We got the map. I mean, what more could you want as an analyst, Paula?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out when I get home. I'm going to go back and watch those because I need to see every little detail for some of these guys who are going to perform on this stage. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, and I can't wait to do that.
I mean, this is what is going to allow these guys to push up into the prizing. I mean, just look at some of those numbers. Of course, everyone who made it here, $50,000 going through. But once you push into that top group, you'll start seeing a little bit of a pay bump. But ultimately, at the top, it's about the $3 million. It's about being the best of the world and being crowned the world champion solo baller. This is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about. We're moments away from getting inside the stage and getting ready to launch the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition.
100 of the best players, every single one is be here. Are you ready for the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's start the show!
What's up, Fortnite World Cup? How we feeling today? Come on! Let me see everybody's hands up. Come on! Put your hands up. me out today. If you guys know this next song, let me hear you sing along. Let's go.
Lately, I've been thinking. I want you to be happier. When the morning comes and we see what we've become. In the cold light of day, we're a flame in the wind of the fire that we begun. Every argument, every word we can't take back. Cause with all that
Casti, si jamais tu m'entends sur le stream, mets un message dans le chat s'il te plaît.
Sing it if you know it.
Someone else was eating me up inside, but we ran off course. We pretended we're okay. Now if we jump together, at least we can swim far away from the wreck we made.
Come on.
And only for a minute, I want to change my mind, cause this just don't feel right to me. I wanna raise.
Casti, t'apprendras la prochaine fois à écouter le live et à regarder tes messages privés.
Everybody's phone flashlights out right now. Everybody put your phones up right now. Put your phones up right now. Put them up. Everybody follow me like this.
B-Boy, c'est pas, il est pas sur le stream à mon avis. B-Boy, Testi, les deux là.
Je suis là, non, je suis là. Non, je suis là.
Il se fout de ma gueule. Ça fait 3 minutes 30 minutes que je leur parle, personne ne répond. Je soit partir regarder le stream ailleurs, soit je sais pas. Tu me dis quoi, Nebix? Tu m'as dit quoi?
Est-ce que tu m'as...
Non, j'ai dit que les modos se foutaient de ma gueule, les autres, je parle pas de vous, je parle des autres modos.
Moi je suis parti juste sur le live pour...
Non, t'inquiète, il y en a plein qui sont pas là. Donc c'est pas compliqué, on est 6. Si ça intéresse pas les gens, je vais arrêter et puis voilà. Je vais le regarder pour moi. Bah oui, je t'ai mieux, Tassi. T'es pas là de toute façon. Je viens de te parler il y a 2 minutes, t'as pas répondu. Je t'ai demandé de mettre un message dans le chat, ça fait 10 minutes que je t'ai demandé, t'as pas répondu. Donc, c'est pour dire 20 minutes après, je suis là.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Marshmallow!
I tell you, I've opened up for a few DJs in my career, by far the best one. Hands down. Guys, this is incredible stuff here. I'm Golden Boy, your host. And this is the moment that we have been waiting for. 10 weeks have culminated to this point right here in New York City, Arthur Ashe Stadium. This packed house. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause for being here with us today. Without you, this is not possible. But now it's all about these players up on this stage, and this right here, the trophy and the title of being the Fortnite World Champion. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I want to get into these games as soon as possible, but I think we gotta ramp up the excitement just a little bit more. When you think about what's at stake here for these players, so much on the line. And we crowned 2 Fortnite World Champions yesterday, but that was duos competition. And today, these people are riding solo. And it's about that trophy, being able to raise this right in front of everyone here in New York City and walking away with $3 million in prizes. History will be made, lives will change. Now, I know that you guys want to hear from some of our players as well. And there's one player in particular that I think each and every person in this arena wants to hear from. Jordan, who do you got?
The legend, the man, the myth. T2! I want my vest back, by the way. Guys, standing next to me, I mean, you guys know him. He needs no introduction. He's pretty decent at the game of Fortnite. He's like fine, I guess. I don't know, 1v1 man creative. We'll see what happens, right? But knowing that you're as good as you are, right, and your skills, your gifts, your
voilà, on
game
est plus
sense,
quitte,
your
je vais
speed,
aller faire autre chose,
your
bon,
precision,
sans perdre son
all
temps.
of these things that I'm sure a lot of people are very fearful of. There are a lot of incredibly young, gifted talents that are up here on the stage right now from all
Ouais, mais je vais
over
aller
the
faire autre
world.
chose.
How do you prepare
Ça sert à rien de...
for all of these different game styles?
Je vais le regarder sur mon téléphone. Je vais vous envoyer pour ceux qui veulent regarder sur notre live.
4K, super fun, hyper fun.
Ah ouais, mais quand t'es pas là toi non plus, ça aide pas non plus.
Mais si, j'étais là.
Non, non, je t'ai posé une question, je t'ai dit réponds dans le chat, tu m'as rien dit. Tu te fous de ma gueule, gros. T'as mis 30 minutes à répondre. Hein.
J'étais sur le live.
Ah, pourquoi t'as pas répondu?
Sauf que ma mère me parlait en même temps. Donc, comme vous ne voulez pas te déranger, donc.
Ouah, t'es stylé.
Le micro.
Bref, allez sur ce live là.
Ouais, que j'ai pas répondu.
Vous mettez hashtag prestige ou ce que vous voulez, et puis voilà. Vas-y, on se retrouve ce soir pour un nouveau live, les gars. Bye.